welcome to the first If podcast in focus. And I'm Sean Robinson, and my fellow geeks are.
I am Alex. I'm trying to think what else you guys used to call me back in the day. But yeah, I'm Alex.
Crops.
Yeah, I am David. Walshy, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Handsome motherfucker.
So we've got our bald beauty and our blonde bombshell. Hey.
And we've got the old man.
And me, yeah, the granddad. For our first official podcast, we're going to review the most anticipated films of 2025. We're going to pick 5 films each for what we're most looking forward to this year and give a bit of a synopsis, reasons for what we know about it, the release date, blah, blah, blah. But as we know, the films we pick and look forward to each year probably don't end up being the best films of the year, do they?
Mine definitely
really. 50% of them are a bit of a disappointment in some way, or the release date ends up being pushed back for some reason, or whatever.
Is that you having a pop at Matt Reeves and Batman?
It sounds that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you.
But also, not all the films that will be coming out this year are even announced yet. I mean, there's the Sundance Festival at the end of January in America. A lot of the films that will be financed there aren't announced yet. So, I mean, it's sort of. So we'll look back at this time next year and be like, well, a lot of the picks are crap, but you can only go off the info you've got. There's a few picks of my 5 that are supposed to come out this year, but there's no official release date.
Yeah, I also think I'm sure people can tell with our posh accents that we're over in the UK, so we kind of work on UK dates as well. So I know at the start and the end of the year, there's always like crossovers, isn't there? Yeah. But that was released last year, but yeah. Also, just to note that, yeah, I guess this is our first podcast, so a bit of background on us. We've known each other for a long, long time. We studied film. We just love films, and yeah, we're 3 very immature guys at times.
Yeah, so bear with us with our immature humour, and we giggle at little things like the name Dogman, for instance. We
which is apparently a film.
It certainly is. Yeah. I mean, for instance, when I was 4 and little Walshy there was 4, he stayed in with me when I was ill on a break time when we was in primary school, and he stayed in with me, and I stroked his little ponytail.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot you used to have a ponytail.
That's not even a lie. That's not even an exaggeration. No.
Did it comfort you?
Yeah, it did.
Right.
I thought you meant me and the ponytail. Yeah, it gave me confidence that I later lost in life.
I still think about that when I go to sleep at night.
My ponytail.
Yes.
Me too. I should have kept it and just brought it forward. That's what I should have done.
You should have. So we can clone you and have a little Walshy at home with each of us. So
whenever we're feeling a bit blue, we just stroke his ponytail and feel better.
Well, you know, you can make a little Walshy, guys. So you know.
Yeah. Quite easy. It's quite easy to do, you know.
That's what I found.
So anyone watching will notice that it looks like I'm filming on a potato. It's my crappy old laptop, so I promise I'll get this sorted for the next time. Let's start off with Walshy. What is your first pick for your 5 anticipated films this year? What's your first pick?
Okay, so I mean, obviously there's a plethora of films coming out, and we could have picked of 100 different films, but I've just gone for some films that I'm interested in to see what happens with them. So my first pick is Superman. I know not everybody's sold in this audience here on the DCU and James Gunn, but yes, Superman. I'm very interested to see what they do with the character and the story. Obviously, the baton is being passed from Henry to David Corenswet, however you pronounce it. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does with the character and obviously how they set this new version of Superman up in the DCU. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to this next evolution. I'm a big DC fan, starting from with Batman back in the day with Burton in '89. So yeah, just really interested in seeing what happens with that character and how it plays into the old DC universe going forward. So that's my first pick. Scheduled to release in July this year in the UK. I think the 11th of July. It might be a little bit earlier in America and other parts of the world, but yeah, 11th of July it's scheduled to drop over here. So looking forward to that. A nice summer watch with a bit of luck.
Sorry, no dogs are barking for some reason.
Don't agree with my film choice, do they? Yeah,
clearly not. But no. I agree with you. I'm looking forward to. After seeing the trailer, that's all I've got to. I suppose that's all anyone's got to go by. I like the looks of it because I'm very picky, as you know, we all are with Marvel and DC. But I'm really a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What I've seen, I think, is an original take on it. Yeah.
I'm definitely the moody one of the group. I like my films dark, but no, I mean, to be fair, after watching the trailer, it does offer stuff that I haven't seen before. Obviously, the dog, which was I'm quite intrigued by. I kind of, and again, with it being James Gunn and obviously knowing the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, I wouldn't be surprised that character is kind of the same ilk as, like, I don't know, Groot or is it Rocket, I think. So yeah, I'm quite intrigued to see how that works. And I know you mentioned the guy's name. Who is he again?
David Orenswet.
Do we know him from anything previously?
I've not seen him in too much, to be fair.
No, me either. But I think that's a good thing. Know, whenever you have a massive character, I feel like if you have a nobody, then it makes it easier to, I don't know. Tom Cruise.
I think he's relatively new. Obviously, I think the Americans will know him a lot better than we do. We've probably not had that much of exposure to him, but obviously Nicholas Hoult is in it as well, playing Lex Luthor, which I think he'll do a really good job. He looks. And there's a lot after the trailer dropped, a lot of memes going around thinking he was like, what is it, Agent 87 or whatever his name is from Hitman.
Oh yeah.
That, but I think he'll do a good job. I like Nicholas Hoult as well.
Yeah, I do. He's a pretty solid actor, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm very intrigued by it. And let's face it, it's Superman. Everyone's going to go to the cinema and watch it because he's made for the biggest screen of all, isn't he? I guess. But my own, again, I get it because it's a trailer and they've got to sell it. My only reservation is I feel like there's quite a lot of villains in it and stuff, and a little bit for me at times. I feel like pack too much in and lose a bit of focus. But who knows? I mean, James Gunn's obviously very. He's used
established now.
He is, and he's used to juggling like an ensemble.
A lot of characters with him. Definitely.
But
that's my first pick.
Colour me intrigued. What about you, Sean?
Brilliant.
What have you?
My first pick would be Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which I don't believe has an official release date, but it's scheduled for 2025. But this is his passion project. So obviously after he helmed Pinocchio for Netflix, the stop motion Pinocchio, which won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. And after that, with it being helmed by Netflix, they obviously with that success, they then said, right, we're going to greenlight Frankenstein, which apparently is a project like 10 years in the making or something like that. So based on Mary Shelley's novel, which was originally, I think, 1818.
I didn't realise it was that old.
Yeah, no, neither did I until I looked it up. So unless you've been living under a rock for the last 200 years for Guillermo del Toro's, which I believe he's going to go as faithful as to the novel as he can. So it's going to be Frankenstein tells the story of a gifted scientist, Victor Frankenstein, who succeeds in giving life to a being of his own creation. However, this is not the perfect specimen he imagines it will be, but rather a hideous creature who is rejected by Victor and mankind in general. So the cast, and to be honest, this is, if you don't know Guillermo del Toro, the cast will probably sell it to you alone. It's Jacob Elordi from Saltburn and Priscilla, Mia Goth, Pearl, Maxine, The Cure for Wellness, Suspiria, Oscar Isaac, Christoph Waltz, Felix Camarera, Ralph Ineson from obviously he's getting big with
Nosferatu as well,
Eggers.
isn't it?
Yeah, Eggers
Yeah.
always uses him. Charles Dance, Felix Kramer, David Bradley, which he's Del Toro's used in Pinocchio, and Lars Mikkelsen. So I mean, the cast alone is
That's
like
really
stellar.
stacked, isn't it? Yeah.
Stellar. Yeah. So obviously, I look forward to this as probably you guys do and everyone else does, just purely on Del Toro's previous works, which have been, second to none. They've always hit the mark. They've always been great. Very rarely have been underwhelming. Obviously, Devil's Backbone, Hellboy 1 and 2 ish, but I really enjoyed Hellboy 1 and 2 from
Yeah, me too.
Del Toro.
Yeah,
To be
I've
honest,
not seen them in a long time, but yeah, I
yeah,
remember really liking them when they came out.
yeah.
The only good Hellboy films.
Yes, yeah, because they constantly keep trying to remake. Yeah, there was one a couple of months ago, wasn't there? Which I think flopped. I mean, because we've not heard much from it. Anyway, The Shape of Water and Pinocchio. So, yeah, this is his passion project. He's all for it. So I feel like that's alone is something to be excited for. If he's got the passion for it, then let's go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Did you say it's a Netflix thing?
Netflix funded.
That'll
Yeah.
yeah, that will get a cinema release though. 100%.
I'd assume so. Yeah. I mean, it deserves it, surely. Yeah. So Cropper, what's your first pick?
Oh, actually, before I go into it, I was just going to say about Frankenstein. We also have Bride that's coming out this year by Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that's like the Bride of
We've got two
Frankenstein.
takes. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it's a musical as well, isn't it? Yeah. And
With
I know
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
He's playing the monster.
I know her little brother Jake Gyllenhaal's in it as well. I think there's a couple others as well, big names in it that escape me at the minute. But yeah, by all accounts, I think that's a musical. So that's quite intriguing, and I think it's the back end of the year it's out. So.
Interesting.
Someone big's doing the soundtrack. I can't think of it, but yeah, interesting. It's weird, isn't it? How like two very very similar films often come out in the same year. It happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
Especially like in the 90s when you had like, I don't know, Deep Impact, Armageddon, and all them. They were all out within a few months of each other. So yeah, I find it interesting how like Hollywood works in like circles, I guess, and
like Dante's Peak and Volcano or something like that.
It's funny because they're related, but I feel like they're going to be obviously they're going to be completely different, aren't they? Yeah.
I mean,
which will be fascinating.
Straight away for me with Del Toro doing Frankenstein, I kind of see Crimson Peak and like the Gothic style of that. I can imagine it being quite similar to that.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed Crimson Peak.
Yeah, me too. I do look forward to The Bride. That was on my, if we ever get onto it, my honourable mentions that didn't fit into the top 5 picks, but very curious to see that one.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I know you guys are similar to me. I think a director's a massive selling point, and you look at Del Toro, and he's been around since the 80s, and he just produces more often than not just solid gold, really, doesn't he? There's not really much out there. The worst you watch something and go, yeah, that was decent enough. But when he's really on point, you're like, wow. I remember Pan's Labyrinth just being that just kind of that really blew me away.
That was next level fantasy, wasn't it? Yeah, that was brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, right, enough of blowing smoke up Mr. Del Toro's arse. I'm going to jump in with again my films. They're not necessarily in order of my most anticipated. I've tried to go by like release date. So the first film I'm looking forward to is out in a couple of weeks, which is Steven Soderbergh's latest, which is called Presence. I will try and explain what it's about, but I'm not entirely sure, which I quite like. What I kind of get from the trailer is some family goes and visits a house to buy. They buy that house. That house is haunted. And that's kind of all I know about it. It looks like a very moody, atmospheric kind of film, and I have an inkling that the film is from the ghost's point of view, which I don't think has been done very often. And again, I think going back to what I was saying about a director being a big draw for me, it's like I've been a big Steven Soderbergh fan for years, and it's nice to see him like venture into horror territory because, to my knowledge, I don't think he's really done that. He's done like a couple of thrillers, but it'd be interesting to see how he does it. He's a very versatile director, and he doesn't do anything new in terms of like genre films, but he tends to find like his own way of looking at something. So this, for example, I'm going to do a haunted house horror film, but it's from the ghost point of view. He always finds a different way to kind of look at something very, very generic and formulaic, and that's been done to death. So, I'm a big fan of him, and obviously, he's very versatile. He's, massive films like Ocean's 11, Contagion, Magic Mike. So he's worked with massive stars. So yeah, I just find it interesting that he does that kind of stuff, and then also on the same time he will kind of do these experimental films. But yeah, it's just a unique premise of the film that
the concept
sold me on it. Yeah,
it kind of reminded me of the horror film that came out late last year, where it's from the perspective of the serial killer. This premise is very similar, isn't it? Where they're doing it from the perspective of this entity, this ghost, whatever it is. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Again, just intrigued to see how he kind of reinvents that subgenre, I guess. And I assume like a lot of his films kind of explore themes of like identity, morality, human condition, and all that. So I'm sure there'll be. I think it'll be quite a meditative film, as in it'll just kind of wash over you a little bit, and it'll probably be thought provoking. And there's going to be moments where I'm like, "What the fuck's that mean?" And figure out what you want, but.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about this film at all, which is lately the ideal way of viewing something for me. Is not knowing a lot about it.
I feel like Nolan kind of championed that for quite a while now, hasn't he? Like most of his films are shrouded in mystery up until like the 11th hour, and I don't know. I just find it again. I think because we're at a point in time where everything's marketed around Rotten Tomato scores, and and then you see like, early reviews are out, and it's just like Twitter snippets of this film will, it'll blow your mind and all that, and it's just like
there's too much reliance or an over reliance on like the trailers. Like the trailers have got to like
criticism and influences.
Too much aware.
Yeah. It's almost like the new word of mouth now, isn't it? Social media, and it's just I don't know. I do try and stay away from it as much as I can, but it's impossible to stay away from all of it. You can't not get through your day without seeing. I think about something.
Yeah, I think we've all been looking forward to a film, or even if we've not been, we've heard a film like exonerated by the critics. We've heard something that's been said it was amazing by the critics, and then we've watched it and it's like, what were they on about?
Yeah, 100%. And even Nosferatu that came out, again, they obviously did it with that, and I loved it. It was really good, but it was just kind of like some of the people are saying, it's one of the greatest horror films ever made and stuff. And, you can't know that at the minute. It needs to, find its place in time and look back on it, don't you? But
yeah, definitely.
It's just, that's the belly of the beast these days, and that's how they want to do it. But yeah, I know you guys are the same. When we go and watch a film, we try and stay away from reviews until afterwards, and then we enjoy listening and reading about them, and seeing what people like about it, vice versa.
You never know when it's just blowing smoke up something's arse, do you? I mean, it could be someone paid off, but even if it's not, the habit is nowadays is to just exaggerate. I feel I've seen too many reviews and too many people saying this is the best of this, best of this. It's like, you watch it, it's like it's good, but I mean it's just too exaggerated for me. It doesn't mean things can't be great if they're not the greatest of the genres or time or whatever. It's just, let's just put everything into context.
Yeah, 100%. It just smacks up to me. Words are very cheap for critics.
Yeah. And it's very current, isn't it? I mean, they usually go off what happened this year as like, this is the greatest because it came out this year, blah blah blah. This is the most current thing, therefore it's the best. But it's not the case.
But yeah, bringing it back to Presence and Soderbergh's latest film, I guess, as we go through the list, there's a reason why it's on the list. And the reason for me is that, he's just a very versatile director out there. Shifting between big budget stuff, low budget stuff. I have to say, out of the majority of his films, my favourite film of Soderbergh's is Magic Mike. And
Why not? Why not?
Remember... But yeah, when it came out, I know... quite a lot of people I work with and friends where they're like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, I'm going watching Magic Mike. And they're like, huh? What are you doing that for? No, but but yeah, everyone was surprised, and obviously, lo and behold, I went and watched it, and other people went and watched it. To be stereotypical, but you're kind of like you're very you're two-dimensional film fan. Yeah, go and watch it, and they come out and go, it wasn't that good, was it? And I come out away, and it's like it was really good because it was genuinely a character study of like. Yeah, I don't know. I guess a subject that you don't really, or there's not been too much filmed about, and he's just an interesting director, and it's kind of, I don't care where he turns his hand to. I kind of know there'll be something in it for me. So be that. If it's a male stripper film, I'll go and watch it. I'll get something out of it. But and again, I think the fact that he's done so many. Well, when I say so many, he's done quite a lot of like big budget stuff. Obviously, the Ocean stuff, and he's worked with like the best in the business, Clooney, Brad Pitt, all them, and even to this day, Channing Tatum and stuff like that. If you say the name Steven Soderbergh, they probably won't know who he is. And I kind of like that he has a low profile, and he's been doing it for he's been in the industry for years and years and years. So yeah, I kind of like that he doesn't market himself, and he just kind of goes about his business, and yeah. Speaking of honourable mentions, he has another film coming out. At the moment, the name gets by me, but I know it's kind of like a take on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but a more serious way with Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett. And I think that's out in like April. But again, it just shows you like the versatility of the guy. He's gone and done like a horror film, and now he's a couple of months down the line, there's going to be like an action espionage thriller. Husband and wife dynamic kind of thing. So,
Walshy, would you like to divulge your second pick?
Yes, Tron Ares.
All right. Yes.
So
yes.
It is the sequel to Legacy, which is 15 years old, or almost 15 years old.
Which is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I remember going to the cinema watching it. It's like 15 years ago, really. It's mad. So yeah, the sequel to Legacy, and obviously completing the trilogy of Tron films from the original back in the 80s. It'll be for anybody not aware of Tron. Jeff Bridges is the main character, and he gets sucked into a arcade machine and goes into the world of Tron, and he has to figure out how to get out, essentially. So that's the basic synopsis of the original one, and then Legacy took it a step further, which I really enjoyed. I've not watched it that many times, but I really enjoyed it. I love Jeff Bridges. He's a quality actor. He's a legend now. I really enjoy his performances. Loved Tron Legacy, and then when I saw that Ares was being made and coming out, I couldn't wait for it, to be fair. It's starring Jared Leto. He's going to play Ares, who is essentially going to be an AI character within Tron, within that world. So it's all around the sort of the birth of AI within this within this environment, and
so it's something that feels more relevant nowadays than when it was originally.
That's it. It's definitely is, and it's obviously prominent now to the AI sort of revolution that we're going through now. With his character, it's kind of a reverse of what happened to Jeff. So he's coming out of the Tron world, and he's going to enter the human world. So we're going to see obviously how that sort of plays out. But Jeff Bridges is coming back as his original character, Kevin Flynn. Which is really, really good to see. Obviously, he's had his health issues over the last couple of years, which he's over by the looks of it, which is really good. So looking forward to him coming back into that. Jared, obviously, playing the lead role as Ares. I really like Jared. Obviously, he's had some stinkers, Morbius probably being the highlight of them, but I think overall he's a really good actor. He's a really good character actor. He can be quite method. Obviously, he's been rewarded with the award that he's won over the years, so really interested to see what he brings to the table. In terms of director, I don't really know too much of him. Joachim Ronning. He's done a Pirates film, Dead Man Tell No Tale, but outside of that, I don't think I've seen any of his films really outside of that.
Well, Crops' claim to fame is he had a picture with Jared, didn't you?
I photographed it. And he patted me on the back.
There you go.
Yeah,
you've not had a shower since, right?
No. I literally, I remember once the concert finished, he walked off stage and kind of walked straight past me, and I was just, as he was going past me, I was just like, really great show, Jared. Loved it. And he just like, cheers, man. That was that. It was a bit surreal.
Sweet guy.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he had some crazy fans though.
Oh, I can imagine, man. I can imagine. There's some wildness going on in that.
Big time. But again, I'm excited that Jeff's back. I didn't know he was returning for that. Yeah, this has kind of come up on the lowdown a little bit for me. I've not really seen much about it, which is good.
I heard about it briefly the other day on, I think, Watch Mojo. Anticipated films, but don't know too much about it at all.
Yeah, it's out later on in the year. I think October it's slated in the UK. So no doubt in the next few months we'll probably start seeing some more snippets of it online. So yeah, really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned a big part of the plot seems to be based around AI. Again, my next pick is very AI based, and again, going back to what we were saying about like Hollywood works with trends, and similar types of films come out at the same time. Yeah, we got another case of that in a minute. But before that, Sean, what's your second pick?
My second pick is Wildwood by Leica Studios. Obviously, Coraline, Paranorman, Box Trolls, Kubo and the Two Strings Missing Link. It's directed by Travis Knight, who directed Kubo and the Two Strings and Bumblebee, which I've not seen. I don't know if you guys have. But apparently it was well received. Written by Colin Malloy, who also wrote the book that Wildwood is based off. And he's also apparently a musician. He also did the score for Suicide Squad, the latest one. But anyway, little...
that was a James Gunn film, wasn't it? Like Suicide Squad?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, it was with John Cena, wasn't it? That was all right, to be fair. And Stallone as the shark.
Yeah. That's the latest one, isn't it? Yeah. So the guy who wrote the script for this scored that. So the cast is Awkwafina, who's like does every animated voice in every fucking animated film you could imagine. I mean,
she is funny, to be fair. I really like her.
No. I mean, her voice is meant for animation, but she seems to be in everything. I mean, that's not a criticism. It's just like she's in everything.
Yeah.
Jake Johnson.
Is she like the Samuel L. Jackson? Is she like the Samuel L. Jackson of the animation world?
Well, she seems to be. Yeah, like in everything. She's in Ray and the Last Dragon, Kung Fu Panda 4, Migration, The Little Mermaid, The Bad Guys. Jake Johnson, Charlie Day is in it. Mahershala Ali is in it. Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords, obviously.
Legend.
Richard E. Grant also has a voice role. What else have we got? So yeah, it's due for release in the UK on October 31st for Halloween. The synopsis for it is the story of two seventh graders who are drawn into a hidden magical forest while trying to rescue a baby kidnapped by crows. But obviously, the draw to this is just like his previous work, especially for me, because I love stop motion animation, as you guys know. I think it's amazing. I think frame by frame. I mean, I think they're second to none in stop motion animation. I mean, the effort, love, and everything gone into every single second of every frame is amazing. I don't think there's craftsmanship quite like it in cinema at the minute. I mean, the list of films I just said from Leica are all they've done, but that spans over 15 years, 16 years.
It's a long process, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the last film was Missing Link, which I think was several years ago now, and that was good, but it's not the best. But I feel like the problem is with this one, I hope it does well, because I feel like the studio needs a hit, because, I mean, their last good hit was their first, which was Coraline in 2009, which actually made a profit and like really, really was a blockbuster.
Yeah, I remember watching that at the cinema.
Yeah, me too. And I feel they're due a good hit, because they deserve it, for one. And all the others, they may not have financially done it, but critically and the reception they got after release, they've got a lot of love and a lot of followers, a lot of fans, and I feel like they deserve a hit. So if anyone's listed, go and see it.
You go out and watch it.
Yes, yes.
It's a stellar cast, mate, and
yeah.
Interesting to see what they do with it.
Sean, you can take me on a date to watch it.
Of course I will. You don't need to ask, do you?
No.
Right, Props. What's your third pick?
Second.
Second.
Yeah,
Second.
the second. Yeah. Again, Sean, this will be wasted on you, dude.
Go on.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
I thought this was coming. Go on.
Yeah. Again, when I was kind of looking through like all the upcoming releases this year, I try and balance it a bit so you kind of have like, I don't know, a dark, moody indie film, and then at the same time, I still love like a big, massive popcorn flick. And this is that. I guess. Plot wise, again, this is AI heavily related. It's a direct follow on from the last one because the last one kind of finished on a massive cliffhanger, and I believe the last film and this one were kind of meant as part 1 and 2, but they've renamed it for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so it's basically Ethan Hunt, who's kind of head of the MIF, and yeah, it's just about him facing one last impossible mission. I think everyone, as soon as I say Mission Impossible, kind of know what you're going to get from it. Yeah. And to me, it's just kind of, I'm looking forward to like big action set pieces. And that he's kind of doing the stunts himself. I kind of get the feeling like this whole franchise is just his kind of hobby to, do all these ridiculous stunts, and because he is a bit of a daredevil, I guess. But yeah, I find it interesting that like Tom Cruise has worked with a lot of like really credible directors. He's kind of done them all really. Scorsese, Kubrick, Michael Mann, Spielberg. He's kind of done it with all the greats, and then for whatever reason, he just decided, right, I want to be an action star now. And to be fair, he's done it. Nobody can run like Tom Cruise on. Yeah, I could literally watch him run for 2 hours. It's very intense. But yeah, no, just pure box office popcorn flick. Semi turn your mind off.
Yet to watch Dead Reckoning,
It's good, It's ridiculous and it's over the top, but yeah, it's just damn good fun. These films are what they are. Suspend your belief at the door, kind of thing. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's a franchise that's kind of, it doesn't happen too often, but it's gone better as it's gone along. I mean, the first one's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we had a conversation about it, haven't we? I don't know for me. I don't know if it was the third or the fourth one where I kind of like changed direction with it. Yeah, the first one was really good, to be fair.
Yeah,
and then it went a bit sideways.
Terrible, to be polite.
Yeah, it did go a bit sideways, and then I think it must have been the fourth one for me. I just changed my opinion from then onwards. Really, I've just not got around to Dead Reckoning for one reason or another, but I'll need to pick it up because I want to watch the final installment.
Yeah,
see what happens. Do you think they'll kill him off?
I hope not. Nah, I don't think so. I'll just leave it ambiguous. I don't know. Yeah.
So I've only seen until the third one.
Okay. Well, to be fair, yeah, after number 3, it really ramps up a notch. It goes up.
Yeah. So my idea of it, from what I've seen, that like the sort of idea in my head is it becomes a completely different franchise after the third one. It's like a franchise of its own.
Yeah, it's almost like, the best way I can liken it is, like when the US Office came out, like the first couple of seasons, it's just kind of like a direct remake of the original, and then they kind of realize, oh, actually, you know what? This is its own thing, and we can go here with it and this, and yeah, that kind of has that feel where it's took a few films to kind of figure itself out, and what it can be, which it's thankfully the first few obviously made enough money and it's got enough star power to, let's do another, another, and they finally they did strike a bit of gold, and it's just gone bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, to me, it's just like the supporting cast really good in it. Simon Pegg, random, who thought that back in the day when Shaun of the Dead come out, that he'd be like, I don't know, best mates with Tom Cruise and doing all these action films with him. But fair play to him, he's kind of upped his ante a bit, and you look at Simon Pegg these days, he's absolutely ripped to shreds, and again, I think that came from a place where I know apparently Tom Cruise used to take the piss out of him when he first came on board of the Mission Impossible films, because he was just like some skinny dude. But yeah, he's really got himself into shape, and then you kind of have good old Vig Rhymes. He's just an absolute legend, and he's been there from the start with, I think him and Tom Cruise are the only 2 originals, I think, in it. And obviously you get Rebecca Ferguson and Vanessa Kirby now, and who's the woman from the Marvel stuff? Captain America, his missus.
Oh, Brie Larson?
No. She's a brunette. Oh,
anyway. Yeah, she's brunette. I know who you mean.
Yeah, I bet you do. But yeah, no, she's been a really good addition to the cast. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think Mission Impossible now, for me, you may you may frown at this, Sean, but to me, it's up there with, like, you know, it stands side by side with like James Bond and, you know, those type of spy espionage stuff. And I'm sure I know exactly what I'm going to get from it, you know, which will just be a good time and good thrills. And yeah, I just kind of want to see Tom Cruise do devilish stuff. Yeah. He's like the evil Knievel of cinema. But yeah, and I believe, just to go up a level for him, I'm sure, isn't he going to be the first guy to actually film a film in space?
Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And again,
like
I think
Tom Cruise
thing
to do.
I feel like Musk and his crew are involved in it as well. So, but yeah, I mean, again, I think a reason these kind of films hit a bit of a note with me, like when I was growing up, I was, you know, a typical lad drawn to like the action genre. So I think it kind of speaks to the kid in me still, and it reminds me of like falling in love with film and going, wow, look at that. How many people he killed, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely an element of like, there's some sort of reminiscing there for me, and just taking me back in the day, and give me a load of adrenaline on the big screen, big bag of popcorn, you know, give me you know it, my friend. But yeah, I know this film will also be too long, because all blockbusters now seem to have to be 2.5 hours, don't they?
Yeah.
And again, I know we've talked about like how we love practical effects and all that kind of stuff. The stunt work in this is all actually real. You know, obviously there's going to be some elements of CGI in there, but I think it's used tactically. And I just admire like the risk people take, and, you know, the stunts they do. And so I think, it's kind of like the plot's ridiculous and everything that happens ridiculous, but I think when the stunts are practical and everything you're seeing is real, it kind of helps ground it a little bit. It's one of those films to me that needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible, and just immerse yourself in it, and
it's just
have a good time.
You just indulge in it, don't you? It's just
yeah.
entertainment, and there's nothing.
Sometimes it's needed, isn't it? Like a no-brainer, a box office, popcorn flick. Walshy, you're third.
Third.
We're on third.
Another, I don't want to say remake, but a redo of a film that's already been made, The Running Man.
Yes, which is one of mine. So let's collab. Go on.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah. So obviously between ourselves, we're familiar, and we've watched the original Running Man a number of times, probably over the years now. But Arnold Schwarzenegger originally was
we all love Arnie.
Show. We love Arnie. We've got an obsession with him. And obviously the premise of it is that there's this game show that people can all be dragged into in some cases to win.
Is this one set in the future?
2025.
It's dystopian, isn't it?
The book is set in 2025, apparently.
Okay. All
right. Whether they adhere to that or they set it further in the future.
A couple more years onto it now.
we're not quite there, are we?
Yeah, but if they do set it this year, I mean, it might be maybe more prevalent. Who knows how they go about it? Yeah. Go on anyway. Sorry.
No. It's just obviously the premise is that there's this game show where, you know, people have got to survive, essentially. You know, they're being hunted down by numerous people. Really fun characters in the original film. Obviously, for what I've read and for what I know, this adaptation of Stephen King's novel is going to be, I guess, more faithful to his words than what The Running Man was from Schwarzenegger's version. So it's going to be interesting to see what Edgar Wright does with that material and how it's going to, I guess, differentiate itself from that original film. Glenn Powell, who we kind of got a crush on at the moment, loving what he's doing. So he's going to be the main character. Obviously, he's heading up Ben Richards' role that Schwarzenegger originally played. Josh Brolin supporting. We love Josh as well. So it's going to be, it's going to be really interesting just to see what this take is, how it sort of pans out.
Plus, Edgar Wright himself hasn't really had a bad film, has he? Really, not that I can think of.
No, I didn't watch his last one. I don't think. Is it Last Night in Soho or something like that? I haven't got around to it. At the moment.
I watched it. It was good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Worth a watch. Yeah. Obviously the Cornetto trilogy, which everybody knows. Baby Driver, which I believe a second one is in the works. I don't know if that.
I believe so.
But there's every reason to be excited about it. To be fair.
Yeah, he's just a very vibrant director, isn't he? There's so much style to his stuff, and I think of the Cornetto trilogy straight away. I just think of all the extreme close-ups and the fast cutting and editing, and yeah. quite an exciting director. So yeah, it'd be really good to see what he does with that.
Sean, do you want to build upon that? Obviously, if it's in your list.
Release date is 21st of November. But that's obviously subject to change. We'll see. I mean, with it being 21st of November, it could eke out into 2026. Sometimes that happens, blah, blah, blah. But obviously, it might not. I know it's based on like you mentioned, Walsh, it's based on Stephen King's short story, which he wrote in
What was the pseudonym?
Richard Bachman, which was in the Richard Bachman novels. I mean, I'm sure anyone listening who's a proper Stephen Kinger will castrate me for this, but I'm sure it was in the short story collection with Shawshank, but I might be wrong. But anyway, it's in the Stephen Kingers. Yeah, so it was in the Richard Bachman books, and it was published in 1985. Like I said, it's set in this year, 2025, but obviously that was it was 40 years ago. It was actually written. So yeah, that's all there is to. I mean, Walsh, you summed it up, but there's every reason to be excited about it. Great director, great cast. Obviously the source material is amazing. We know that the 7 version by Schwarzenegger. I don't know the director, unfortunately.
No, I don't think anybody does.
Which we've all got a soft spot for. I mean, I only watched it last year. I mean, I love it to bits. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that it's dated.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. But that's part of its charm. So it would be interesting to see a modern version.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Gillian, I'll be back. Only in a rerun.
So
I love that film. Who's your favourite villain in the original? Out of all the killers.
Yeah.
Hey, Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree. What was it? What was his name?
Oh God, I don't know.
I know there's buzzsaws on the bike, isn't he? Yeah. I just know him as Christmas tree. Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. I also find it interesting that Stephen King basically thought when he's writing this, right, I'll give it 40 years and the world will have gone to shit by then. So that's realistic enough.
It wasn't far off.
It's not too far off, is he?
It didn't take long, did it?
You could imagine Trump as like the host of that game show as well.
Well, that's the most satisfying part, isn't it? When the host gets it. Yeah,
he's great as well. I remember when I was doing some research on the original for whatever reason, not like I need an excuse for it, but I know the actor who plays Killian, the game host. All his past credits before that was just doing game shows. So
really? It was an actual game show host, wasn't it?
It makes sense.
So, yeah, I don't know why it always sticks with me, but where they kind of put bets on, don't they? Who's going to kill him, basically? And he goes to that old woman in the crowd. He's like, I want my money on Ben Richards. He's a mean motherfucker.
Right. So
I love that film.
It's your third pick now?
Yeah, baby. Okay, my next one is also, I guess, kind of a big blockbustery film, or I imagine it will be F1 with Brad Pitt. Again, I've been trying to figure out why I'm looking forward to this, because I'm really not into like F1 usually.
It's the director, surely.
Kind of, but it's I don't know. Not that I don't like F1, I just haven't really given it the time of day. I know my partner, she loves it. So I don't know. Maybe this will get me into it. But yeah, I'm kind of sold on the director, Joseph Kosinski. Maybe, yeah. Let's go with that. Anyway, director of Top Gun Maverick, and to me, I'd probably say that's one of the biggest surprises in recent time for me. The first is okay. It is what it is. It's very of its time. But I remember going watching Top Gun Maverick, and again, I went with my partner Vic, and I remember turning to her about 30, 40 minutes into the film. I was just like, I absolutely fucking love this. Again, it's just kind of, it was just such a damn good time. But yeah, what I'm expecting from this is high stakes action. Brad Pitt is just kind of, he doesn't miss really for me. I can't really think of many bad Brad Pitt films. He's usually always kind of on the money, and he doesn't really attach himself to anything that looks a bit. But yeah, I think my understanding of the premise is Brad Pitt was like a really celebrated F1 driver, and he kind of gets dragged back in with the team. And it's just about like the intensity and the glamour and the rivalries of the racing circuit.
They did some filming at Silverstone as well. And
I remember that.
Americans or non-British people, it's like our primary racetrack in the UK.
Yeah, that's the main one, isn't it?
In the UK.
And obviously, I was kind of intrigued by the premise and obviously the star power of the film. But when I kind of delved into it a little bit, I kind of got even more excited for it, as in it's produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. And I've got a hell of a lot of time for Jerry Bruckheimer. You know, some of the films growing up as a teenager that his name is attached to, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean, Bad Boys, The Rock, Armageddon, you name it. You know, so and again, he's been around for a long time. So I kind of trust him to deliver, you know, like just a really good, solid blockbuster. And also Hans Zimmer is composing the score for it, which again I'm intrigued by, because I feel like for Hans Zimmer, has he ever done any kind of sporty films? Not to my knowledge. So again, I feel like he may be breaking new territory for himself. Yeah, so combine that with the director who kind of gave me some unexpected brilliance in Top Gun. I'd probably say, you know what, Top Gun Maverick's probably one of my favourite cinema experiences I've ever had. It was I just absolutely loved it. I couldn't believe how much I was into it. And again, it's Tom Cruise for you, I guess. But yeah, so I'm expecting kind of like edgy sequences, jaw-dropping visuals, like, and hopefully like it will be with Hans Zimmer. It'll be like a pulsating soundtrack, and yeah, it's just I feel like it's gonna be quite an intense film. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Again, I'm not sure when it's out. I think when I checked, it just said to be dated, but it is going to be this year. I imagine.
Yeah.
Given like the size of the film and the stars, I'd imagine
summer,
like a summer blockbuster kind of thing. But
yeah,
I'm intrigued by it. And again, I kind of like learning from film. You know, if that kind of turns me on to F1 a little bit, it's like, oh, actually, kind of like the idea of that. Then great. You know, film is very educational, for
influential.
Me, so. And again, you know me, guys, I'm up for trying new things all the time. So yeah, that's my third pick.
Brilliant. My third pick is Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Which I don't think a lot is known about it so far. I mean, anyone who hears the words Animal Farms, probably, if you're of a certain age, you've probably done it in high school. And whether you like it or not, it's George Orwell. It's a fantastic book. So the release date is scheduled for 11th of July, but I can't see that. Just because of the lack of, so I'd be shocked if it makes the 11th of July release date. Directed by Andy Serkis. Obviously, Andy Serkis did the motion capture, was the actor for Gollum, King Kong, Caesar in the Planet of the Apes, the newest Planet of the Apes films. He was.
He's the motion capture king, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, he basically pioneered it, didn't he? Yeah. So he's directed that, which is also a very very interesting, considering the Hunt for Gollum with the Lord of the Rings has been greenlit with Andy Serkis directing. So this is sort of, I mean, it's not saying he's not directed before. Obviously he has, but this sort of I don't know. It's sort of. It's a universe in its own, a trial run for what,
in terms of
what
directing.
His directing chops are, basically.
He did Venom 2, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He did that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Andy Serkis, but that's the worst of the three films.
So it doesn't bode well.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't know if there's other influence. It was like it was too short. I think it was. Yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know if it wasn't cut well. I don't know, but yeah, it's just
He directed 2018's Mowgli as well, which was quite good.
Is that with Christian Bale?
Yeah. Not sure of the cast.
The Panther.
He probably was. Right. Yeah. There was all kinds. I think Scarlett Johansson was in it as well. I'm not sure of the cast.
Yeah.
He was also a second unit director for Lord of the Rings, so he obviously filmed some of that.
Yeah.
So obviously he's multi-talented, but yeah, again, not a lot's known about it. Obviously, we got the novel to go off by George Orwell, but not a lot's known about it. Obviously, it's going to extensively use the motion capture technology. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming I'm assuming it's all going to be CG animals, blah blah blah. Yeah.
But again, it's who better than him to do that, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's in safe hands. If anyone doesn't know the story, if you need me to sell it to you, it's the story of a group of anthropomorphic farm animals who rebel against their human farmer, hoping to create a society where the animals can be equal, free, and happy. Ultimately, the rebellion is betrayed, and under the dictatorship of a pig named Napoleon, the farm ends up in a state far worse than before. There you go.
It's all.
Did we
Oh,
study this?
he also did Captain Haddock, didn't he, in Tintin?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story. I mean, the essence of Animal Farm is communism and
Yes, yeah. There's a lot
how
going on,
why
isn't
it
there?
couldn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be worth a watch if it's actually released this year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just again. I think the source material is that good. Whenever you see it kind of crop up, it's hard to not let it pique your interest. Again, the fact Andy Serkis is involved, I'm sold on just those two aspects alone with it. Very intrigued to see what he does with it. That was going to be one of my honourable mentions as well.
Right. Walshy, would you like to give us your fourth or fifth? Whichever it is.
Yes.
Fourth.
Yes.
Yep.
It is a film I'm very much looking forward to. It is due out in the UK in a few weeks. An A24 film, which
Yeah.
really
Always
love.
a winner.
We're on the A24 train. It is The Brutalist.
Yeah.
Yes. Adrian Brody, was it?
Mr. Brody, yes.
Yeah.
A bit of Brody. He's a good one. Recently won
I salute
Golden
him.
Globe for best actor in a motion picture, lead actor. I think it's won 3 Golden Globes actually, The Brutalist. I am a stickler for anything that's got anything to do with Jewishness, because obviously my wife is Jewish, so any film that's got any relation to the history of whether it's Israel or a character who is Jewish, I'm always jumping onto it.
What a
You and Mel
suck
Gibson.
up.
All right, Mel Gibson, yeah, he's my favorite dude. Adolf, no. Yeah, so the story is it's about a Jewish architect. It's called The Brutalist because this architect, he I don't know if invented is the right word to say, but he developed brutalism as an architectural type. Brutalism is when you're using sort of raw materials, like using I don't know, like exposed bricks, wood, cement. That's sort of brutalism in its essence. So it's a story about this architect. He sort of flees Eastern Europe, obviously from what was happening there. There's obviously a lot of targeted attacks towards Jewish people. So he fled Hungary because the Hungarians were hunting Jews at the time. So he fled Hungary to go to America to sort of make a better life for himself, and it kind of it looks at the struggles that he goes through. He was sort of a revered architect in Eastern Europe, and then he goes to America and he's a nobody knows him. He sort of just goes to work in like the factories and sort of stuff like that. So it's really his story of how he escapes trials and tribulations in his home country, goes to America to start again, and then goes through his own struggles in different ways. Eventually, he's going to be sort of found by somebody within that business, within architecture, and it's about his story and how he sort of starts to develop brutalism in America. So I'm really looking forward to it. Adrian Brody, obviously, as the lead. Felicity Jones is in it. Guy Pearce is in it as well. So really good cast. It's an epic. Yeah, only a few weeks. Yeah, the end of this month. I think it's over 3 hours long off the top of my head, just over 3 hours long. So it is an epic, which I don't mind. Obviously, Oppenheimer was about that length. So yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
As long as the story is compelling enough, I think it'll carry you through. I think Adrian has the ability to bring audiences in. It's going to be probably a very dialogue heavy film and probably a very difficult watch at times. Obviously the subject matter that he'll be covering is quite heavy, but I think Adrian has that ability to carry those sorts of roles. He's very diverse in what he can produce on the screen, so yeah, really looking forward to his performance.
I suppose that's kind of where he really made his acting chops, I guess, wasn't it? Was it The Pianist? I think so. Yeah. So he dabbled in these areas before, and he's very good at it. I mean, to be fair, I've seen the very minimalist trailer going around.
Yeah.
And again, sold on the studio, really, like you with A24. They never really do anything that's, a waste of time, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, I will definitely go and watch that. And I've kind of purposely, again, not read too much into it. So, yeah, I didn't even know it was about, like, brutalist architecture, I guess. So,
that's it. Yeah, he's the sort of the founding father of brutalism, essentially. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting watch. So it's a long one, it's an epic, but You know,
Yeah.
you can't pass up on Brody, A24. You know, the subject matter as well. It's a historic one. Obviously, there'll be some touch upon, you know, the Holocaust that was happening at the time in Hungary and in Europe in general,
Yeah.
and then his obviously his
I always forget
transition and his escape to America.
the Hungarians did side with the Germans, didn't they, back in the day?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really terrible. I mean, me and Sasha, we've been to Budapest a few times now. There's a lot of memorials there for the Jews that were killed. A lot of them were thrown in the river and drowned. You know, there was atrocities happening all over Europe with the Holocaust and the sort of the targeted programs and stuff like that against the Jews. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough watch naturally.
Yeah, it will be, won't it?
I think it's gonna be a good watch.
But often those tough watches, if they're done well, end up being, you know, some of the best films you can see. Also, they're basically awards bait, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They've already bagged a few already, so I think they're up for some
Yeah.
nominations for
It's
the
going to be
Oscars
up there,
as well.
isn't it? Yeah, but in terms of these type of films, I'm glad they do keep making them because it's one of them. You know, that kind of stuff what happened should never be forgotten. You know, because you know, if you forget, then you know it can happen again, can't it?
So
But
that's number 4. Very much.
Yeah, I will definitely be watching that.
I'll be in the cinema watching it.
Same with your
Yep.
milkshake.
My peanut butter milkshake. You know,
Trying to comfort you.
Watching
Yeah.
all those people suffer while you enjoy it.
It's all about balance.
Your fourth or fifth? I can't remember.
Yeah, my fourth is a film called Roofman by Derek Cianfrance. Again,
Right, nice.
I'm just an absolute whore for directors. I guess I really like him and his previous work. And the plot for this film, which I'll go into now, is just absolutely nuts. And the fact that it's a true story as well makes it even just it's just bonkers. So basically, Derek Cianfrance's Roofman follows the true story, and we'll take this for a name, of Jeffrey Manchester, who's basically an ex-army guy in America and turns into a fugitive, and he earned the nickname Roofman because he would break into McDonald's in the evening via the roof, and I think he raided 60 McDonald's and like just took all the money out of the registers and stuff, and kind of ushered all the staff into like the freezers and locked them in there and stuff like that. But apparently he was very nice when he was doing it. There was no like, he wasn't like threatening to people or anything like that. And so basically, I think he gets sent down, and then he escapes prison, and he decides to take refuge in a Toys R Us store.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he forms a romantic relationship with somebody who works there, I'm guessing. Who that woman is played by Kirsten Dunst, and the title character is Channing Tatum. I quite like Tatum, you know. He's done it, you know, a bit like Robert Pattinson. Well, yeah. He suckered me in right there and then. But no, kind of a bit like Robert Pattinson, really. You know, where you kind of, once you shake that heartthrob thing that is attached to you early in your career. Yeah, Channing Tatum's done some interesting roles. Foxcatcher was a personal favourite of mine. I really enjoyed that film. Pretty dark. But yeah, again, the main draw for me here is Derek Cianfrance. I think he's a really, really good director. And again, I like my films dark and moody and fucking, yeah. He's worked with my boy Ryan Gosling quite a bit in the past. He did Blue Valentine and Place Beyond the Pines, which we watched last year at some point, I think.
Yeah.
But both films are all like, you know, they're very like emotionally intense, and he creates such a really good mood in his films. I think the way he shoots his films is really, really, really nice, and there's a lot of long takes in there which does give that meditative, slow-paced feel to it. It's always like characters who have like real internal struggles. It's just, I guarantee it'll be a deep dive into like complex relationships. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's, again, the plot, I remember reading the plot and it's just kind of like, you know, where you're a bit dumbfounded. Like, that never happened, doesn't it? Yeah, it's like, that never happened. Yeah, and again, I think this is his first film in like 9 years. So, he's had a bit of a break. He did a TV show with Mark Ruffalo where he plays twins, and I know he won Emmys for that, and that was a really good show. Yeah, that's kind of it, I guess. I'm just a big fan of like his method of filmmaking and the subjects he chooses, and it's always like emotionally complex. But I think that's due out.
I'd not heard anything about that, so I always like to hear new stuff. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that synopsis is epic. I'll definitely watch that.
I hope he grabs some nuggets on his way out as well.
No,
Yeah, again,
chicken selects is the way forward.
but yeah, again, going back to the director, yeah, it's very like realistic and it's all very like mundane and just as it would be in life. So yeah, I've always been a big Michael Mann fan, and you know that he always kind of does that kind of thing, and yeah, I just find it, yeah, a different take from the norm. So yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm sure it'll be a compelling watch.
So my last pick, my fifth pick, is Mickey 17, which comes out very soon, which I think we all agree is something to look forward to.
Yeah, big time.
Based on what we know about it.
Come on.
When you've done so well, don't lose it now.
Yeah.
You can't say his name, can you? Jung Boon's son or something.
No, silly. It's Bong Joon-ho. So Bong Joon-ho. Right, so
absolute legend.
So directed by Bong Joon-ho, who directed Parasite, which obviously won the best film at the Oscars. He also directed Okja. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Okja. Yeah, which is I think on Netflix at the minute. Both brilliant films.
I enjoyed both.
Yeah. Obviously starring your baby at the minute, Robert Pattinson, which is your number one of the younger generation of actors, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Yeun, Naomi Aki, Mark Ruffalo, Toni Collette, and I mean, if you haven't seen the trailer, it looks interesting enough. The synopsis is a disposable employee is sent on a human expedition to colonize the ice world of Niflheim. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. But from what we've seen, I feel like the tone looks dark but fun.
Yeah, like a dark comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So other than that, I don't know much more about it.
No, maybe.
It's based on a novel by Edward Ashton, which I think is a very recent novel. Yeah. So the story's quite fresh. I know it was supposed to be released last March, but due to strikes in Hollywood, was delayed till this year. The only asterisk on this one is I hope that isn't a reflection of any
behind the scenes.
Interruptions in quality. I hope it's still as good as it was always meant to be. I hope that hasn't affected it quality wise.
Am I right in thinking, is this his follow-up to Parasite? I don't think he's done anything since, has he?
Don't believe so, no.
It's a bit of a wait.
But... Yeah, but, you know, quality rather than quantity, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it does look very fun.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, which I believe is out at the end of this month. Yeah, January, UK, anyway. So that's my fifth and final pick. If you haven't seen it, go watch the trailer.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Walshy, your final pick?
Yes, long overdue, I guess, completion of the trilogy, 28 years later.
Yes.
Danny Boyle coming back to direct from the original one. Obviously, he didn't direct 28 weeks later with Rob Carlyle, which I think was pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, it definitely had its moments.
So yeah, really looking forward to 28 years later. Obviously, this is the third installment of that franchise. It's going to be 28 years from the plague, the disease, whatever it was that this virus that created this zombie apocalyptic world from where the first one started off with Killian, who is reprising his role. We don't know in what format. Obviously, we saw the sort of trailer that came out a few weeks ago, and it looked like he was a zombie, but that's since been disproved that it's not him. It's actually the zombie in that trailer was, I think, an artist like a UK artist or something like that. So it doesn't look like he's going to be a zombie, which is good. Hopefully he's going to come back in his original role. To what degree, we don't know. Obviously the cast is really good. We've got is it Ralph or Rafe? I don't know how he likes to pronounce his name. I call him Ralph.
Rafe.
Dick.
Rafe.
Rafe Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes. Obviously he's a legend.
Don't you dare name it wrong.
Rafe Fiennes. Aaron Taylor
Yeah.
Johnson's in it as well, who I do like in the whole. I've not watched Craven. It's not obviously got a lot of good reviews recently, but I like Aaron. He's a really good actor. Jodie Comer as well, who's amazing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to capping off this trilogy, returning back to that world, seeing how it sort of progressed from 28 weeks later. I'll have to probably watch them both again just to reinvigorate my imagination and my
Been a
memory
long time.
on those films. But just genuinely looking forward to it. It's out in June, I think, in the UK. So yeah, just should be just a really good, fun film, entertaining watch, and see what Danny does. See what Killian's role is in the film, big, small, indifferent, and we'll just see how it rolls. But really looking forward to it.
Also, I mean, the impact on the genre. I mean, originally 28 Days Later reinvigorated it, didn't it? I mean, it brought it back. I mean, the whole,
zombie genre.
Was that? Yeah. Was it the first zombie film to have like zombies running?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine so. Yeah. Plus, I mean, the genre was dead up until then, from the 80s, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, Romero's Dawn of the Dead's. And obviously all the sequels that he did from them.
Did speaking of Romero, obviously he's got that trilogy of like the Dead. Did you ever watch? Did you ever see his other trilogy he did? It's like again, it's a continuation of like the zombie post-apocalyptic world, and he kind of did it towards the end of his career.
I remember.
Yeah, and then there was two others as well. I remember watching them, and they're okay.
Yeah,
they are. Again, very very low key. No known actors, and all the money went on like the effects of the zombies and stuff. But yeah, they were all right.
The original one used to scare
God
the
rest
shit
his
out
soul.
of me. Dawn of the Dead. Just like the music in the shopping mall.
In the mall.
Honestly, it would never leave me. That music would never leave me.
Right, and here we go. I'm going to give Zack Snyder some praise now. He did a fucking great remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, to be fair.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, in terms of like, it's one of them, isn't it? When you hear it's getting remade, it's like, oh, what are you doing that for?
It was very different.
Yeah,
it was very different from the original, wasn't it? But yeah, it was pretty decent effort, to be fair.
And then it's just a shame about the rest of his entire career.
On that note, Proper, what's your fifth and final pick for your upcoming film this year?
Again, I think I could be wrong, but I feel like it is an A24 one. There's no release date. It just said it's going to be out, I imagine, the back end of this year. And it's not a porno, but it's called The Smashing Machine. So this is directed by one of the Safdie brothers. And again, I think like most people, they kind of got my attention with Uncut Gems and Good Time with, again, Mr. Robert Pattinson. And I'm attracted to the director more than anything. However, it's got a huge star as in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I'm intrigued to see him kind of do like an indie film, one that'll be probably quite.
I think it'll test his acting out for one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he is himself in every film.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the film explores like his troubled past and like the toll the career's taken on him, and yeah, I think he has like a bit of a fall from grace in it or something like that. But yeah,
it feels a bit
very
like
interested with
the wrestler, doesn't it? Obviously, it's going to be completely
different. With Mickey Rourke.
Mickey, yeah.
And again, I love the wrestler. That was really good. But yeah, I'm very, very intrigued to see what he does in the role and where he's like. I think Emily Blunt's in it as well.
Winner.
Can't go wrong there.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, again, I'm suckered in by the directors, Safdie brothers, Uncut Gems. I've never felt so stressed after watching a film in a good way. As in, like, it's just, they made a film to do that, and it was really, really effective with it. And again, they've only done a couple films. Good Time with Robert Pattinson is another one. And to me, I watched it. Again, it's a bit frantic and like stressy, but it reminded me of like early Scorsese films where it's like shot on the streets of New York and you kind of got locals in it as like bit part actors and stuff. And again, very character driven.
Yeah.
It's very like, the filmmaking is very like fast, jerky. There's like constant movement. It's all just, you don't get a minute with it all.
Anxiety.
Yeah, full on. Yeah, I imagine this will be probably similar in parts.
Yeah.
But yeah, a huge departure for Dwayne, and good on him for like wanting to reach out. And I know he did an HBO series, didn't he, about NFL and agents over the last couple of years, which apparently was pretty good. So so I think he is slowly trying to do more like indie projects or passion projects.
Mm.
Yeah, that was it, Ballers. Yeah, I think I watched some of it and it was all right. But yeah, intrigued to see that. I think it's out later in the year. So yeah, that's my 5 picks. And again, there's loads I've left out, and I'm sure there'll be other films that I haven't even mentioned here that'll be my film of the year and stuff. But yeah.
Well, speaking of, is there any from any of the three of us that is a shout out that we haven't mentioned in our top five that is a sort of an honourable mention for anything we're looking forward to? I mean, I know for me, Sinners, that's coming out in March. Sinners, which is a horror film.
Okay.
It looks pretty cool. There you go.
Yeah.
Starring Michael B. Jordan. I think it's released in 7th of March.
Yeah.
The twin, isn't it? He's playing two characters.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But what I've seen of the trailer, I don't know much about the plot, but I mean, what I've seen, I'm looking forward to it. Also,
he's all right, Michael B. Jordan, isn't he? To be fair.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He's quite a talent. For me as well, you mentioned earlier on The Bride. It's an honourable mention. Predator
Wolfman.
Badlands.
Yes.
Wolfman. Yeah, definitely. That's one to look forward to.
Yeah, that last Predator film was a nice surprise, wasn't it? So I think it's the same director. Yeah, it's the same director doing this, isn't it? So it should be.
Really looking forward to that.
I'll definitely
Worth a watch at the very least.
Hopefully, it gets a cinema release because the last one didn't. Which was
it was exclusive to Disney Plus, wasn't it? I think. Yeah.
Jurassic.
So that and
World Rebirth.
There's also a. Wait, sorry.
World Rebirth.
I'm interested as long as it's
he said it's going to feel
different
more
from
like
Jurassic World. Yeah.
Exactly.
As long as it's
got
done
a
well.
good cast.
Yeah.
It's got a very good cast.
Scarlett.
I mean,
right? She's
it's fine, man.
We just got to accept the fact that like Disney now just don't care if something's shit, they'll just churn out another one a year later. Go, just ignore that one, and we'll try this one, and hopefully that's a success. So it is what it is. Don't be too precious with them.
Watching them, and they continue to make money. Then they're just going to keep churning them out.
Then they're going to keep doing it.
I just want to say that last Jurassic World film was fucking awful.
To be fair, the trilogy in general.
Dominion.
It wasn't.
Yeah. To be honest, like if I went back to watch the first Jurassic World, it's very meh, isn't it? It's like there's not much going on.
As soon as the novelty wears off of they're back there, and the T-Rex is back, there's not much else to it, is there?
No, not at all.
Another film, I'm looking forward to is Paul Thomas Anderson's new one. It's always a bit of an event when he does a film. He's one of the best filmmakers out there. Leo's in it. It's called The Battle of Bactan Cross at the moment. Apparently he changes his title quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a working title, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I mean, looking at the cast list, you got Leo, you got Sean Penn, you got Benicio del Toro. So it's a fair amount of star power there, and I feel like I think it's his most expensive film to date. So I'm intrigued to see what he does with a big budget and stuff. And again, Leo's one of them, a bit like Brad Pitt, doesn't really attach himself to shit, does he? So
no. Plus, Paul Thomas Anderson's got a track record of brilliance. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
100%.
that's interesting to see.
I know. Our new boy Yorgos has got a new film out as well, hasn't he?
He's churning them out lately, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? I think it's called Bugonia or something like that.
Right. Is Emma Stone in it, perchance?
She is, and Jesse Plemons. But from the sounds of it, I think it's two conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap a high-powered CEO and convince that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth.
Sounds about right for Yorgos.
I was about to say that's very Yorgos, isn't it? Yeah.
There is a bit of a left field casting in it. I haven't heard her name in years. Alicia Silverstone. What do you guys remember her from?
Wasn't she one of Batman?
Yeah. Was she Batgirl? She wasn't she?
Was,
yeah. Clueless? Was she in Clueless as well?
Yeah, I think she is.
Yeah. Louise loves Clueless. Yeah.
Another film I'm quite intrigued by, Sean. You might know it. Given that it's, I think it's stop motion, Memoir of a Snail. No?
Is it the sequel to Memoirs of a Geisha? Or...
It is.
I like your synopsis of it. It's just about a snail.
Going about his day. Very slowly, I'd imagine.
You know what? I'm sold. If stop motion, I'm going to watch it. Let's face it.
Is anyone sold on The Passion of the Christ 2? Or
no.
Resurrection, whatever it's called?
I'm not.
I love Passion
I don't know.
of the Christ. I really do. I love Mel Gibson. I really like him as an actor first, but as a director.
I think he's a great director. And he's a great actor as well. He's proper movie star.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, obviously.
I really enjoyed the first one, to be fair. I mean, it's brutal in parts.
That's what I was just going to say. It's kind of, for me, I appreciate it, but I can't watch it, if that makes sense.
Really
but I think that's a testament to the film.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to go and see it, but yeah, I don't really know what to expect. I assume it's going to be like the whole...
Yeah, it's the whole resurrection.
So it'd be like, is it out at Easter?
Probably.
It makes sense, but you never know.
Though, I've not seen anything. I've not seen any set images or anything like that.
Well, he's just had a new one come out, hasn't he? With
Ruffalo. No, Wahlberg.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm quite intrigued by that. Again, just because of Mel Gibson and he's a damn good director, so it might be worth it. It might be worth a go.
Did you guys watch?
We Still Love You, Mel. Oh, it's great. Pure cinema. It's so good.
I've not watched that since the cinema, Apocalypse.
I know Vic hadn't seen it, so we watched it, I think, last year at some point, and she'd never heard of it, and she loved it. It's just great.
Yeah. So should we wrap it up, Jen?
Yeah. The only other thing I was going to say, just in terms of like Hollywood at the minute and stuff, like again, a couple of my picks are like, no, I think one of my picks is like from an existing franchise. The rest are all kind of new. So it's like any year, really, isn't it? Summer's going to be dominated by pre-existing franchises and stuff, and then you're going to get the indie stuff around it. I guess, I don't know. My picks, there's a bit of a common thread of like, I don't know, high stakes, intense storytelling, character study. So I guess that says more.
Self-reflection.
Yeah. Okay. Right off the bat, what do you think will be the biggest film money-wise this year? For me, it's going to be Avatar.
Oh yeah. It's hard to argue against it.
Yeah.
If I mean, I have to balance itself with the first and the second one, probably. I reckon Mission Impossible will do really well.
I think it will, especially with it being the last one as well.
That'll be up there.
Jurassic World as well. Yeah.
How do we feel about Avatar? The new one coming out. Yeah, I'm kind of
I'll obviously watch it. It's Cameron. You can't not watch Cameron. Yeah.
For me, it's
like the second one let me down.
The same.
Right.
I don't know.
I feel like I feel I've lost the passion, if there was any, from the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was full of wonder, and then the second one just felt like it was just ticking all the boxes, wasn't it? Yeah. It was just like, right, this is what it needs to do. It didn't feel like anything groundbreaking or special, even though it was designed to be groundbreaking and special, but it didn't feel that way to me.
The worst thing for me with it was the
world. Like, in the first one, obviously...
No, it didn't.
2009 when it came out, and obviously it's CGI.
Yeah.
It's CGI heavy, but you felt like you was in Pandora. With this, it just felt...
it felt fully immersed.
This one, for me, it just felt fake. It just felt unreal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And again, there wasn't that much to the plot with it either. I wasn't that engaged with it. The only thing I liked is like the last 20 minutes or so kind of turned into Titanic, but in Avatar.
As a 9-foot alien, that's what I like.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of like, the second one didn't really hit it for me, but again, it's Cameron, and if he's got 5 films planned, not all of them are going to be great. It's going to ebb and flow, isn't it? So
I feel like with the upcoming one, the thing for me that's working against it is something I don't know, I can't remember the title, but it's something to do with fire. So
yeah, I think it's
Ash and Fire. So obviously this is a tribe of Na'vi, that's fire, and it just feels like, are we just going to go through like the elements?
The elements,
yeah. It's like it's just like this sounds pretty boring, but I hope I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong.
This will be his very dumbfounded take on like global warming and shit like that, probably.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Forest fires, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, going on. What's happening?
But again,
in LA
like if you can already pick that, yeah, Jesus, yeah. But if you can already pick it, it's not sounding the most exciting, is it?
No, it's not. But again, I kind of the thing the second one's done now is kind of lowered my expectations a bit. So hopefully, I'm taken by surprise, and I'm like, he's a fucking genius again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I think that's
quite a varied pick between us all there.
Good
it was
year
lovely
as well for cinema by the looks of it.
Yeah, it
Hopefully.
looks like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
good year for horror from the looks of it as well.
Yeah. Seeing as it's got its a resurgence. Yeah.
Yeah, I am looking forward to Frankenstein.
I mean, yeah, it seems like a good year considering we were struggling to whittle it down to 5 picks. So that's a good sign.
It's always a good sign, isn't it? So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. Right, so I guess this is like our first official episode, I guess. I mean, for anyone who's listening, you could probably tell that we're quite new at it, but we've also done some dummy runs that we're not going to publish. So, but yeah.
New and sexy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's the episode 1 of In Focus done. We've got all the social media channels, Instagram, all the usual suspects. They'll be in the notes for people to check out, and we've also got Letterboxd, and I'll put all these films into a list on there that you can look at if you want to, or if not, just
fuck off.
See you later. Yeah, looking at it, this podcast will probably run for about an hour and a half. I'll be amazed if we've still got a listener at the end of it. Nah, that's doing us a disservice. We're a lovely bunch.
Not with your editing skills, Crops.
Oh, don't stop it, darling. I'm blushing.
Are you blushing, or is that just your brown room or whatever you said it was?
It's my chocolate light. Right, gents. Always a pleasure. Again, it's one of them, isn't it? It's like if people listen to it, great. But if not, I just love talking about films with my buddies.
Exactly, that's all it is.
Definitely. Always a pleasure.
Right. See you on the next one.
Yeah,
certainly is.
Let's. You will indeed. I better stop the recording, hadn't I?
Yeah. See everyone on the next one.
Yeah. Peace out, motherfuckers.